Virgo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In this video, every single week, we review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun and what that means for your bottom line. I'm going to start out really broad with the big stuff that everybody should be feeling, actually. And then I'm going to whittle it down into Virgo-focused information. And then I will separate everything down into the decans. And a decan is a group of 10 degrees. And by breaking each zodiac sign down into 3 decans, because there's 30 degrees total in every zodiac sign, I can tell exactly how your natal sun is being impacted by the other planets based on what angle they're forming to each other. Not all Virgos are going to be impacted the same way. In fact, absolutely not. So we're going to dig into exactly how your natal sun is going to be impacted in this much more accurate understanding of astrology. You don't need to know anything except your birth date. If you know your birth date, you'll be able to enjoy and understand this information just fine. If you want a really accurate reading, then go check out your natal chart. Grab one. You can grab them for free online. All you need is your birth date, your birth time, and your birth location in a couple of seconds. It will generate all the information that you need. But for right now, come on along with me. Just your birth date is fine. I will be translating the degrees into the correlating birth dates. So you'll have complete access to understanding everything that I'm telling you. Let's start out with the big stuff. There are 2 major transits that are happening this week. One is on the 10th, which is Mars moving into Virgo, which definitely impacts you guys directly. Mars in Virgo can be pretty intense energy. It's very facetious and very pedantic and doesn't like to have its schedule interrupted. It doesn't take well to change because it likes to plan things out, and it's like the way that you do things is very scheduled. It's very pedantic. It's very reliable, which is great for you guys, but at the same time it gets really intense when everything else doesn't go as planned. So there are wins and loses to Mercury in Virgo, absolutely. Then we have on the 11th, Mars in Virgo. That was my fault. Then on the 11th, we do have Mercury transiting from Cancer into Leo, and Mercury also impacts you because it's your ruling dignitary. Mercury in Leo is a very strong and confident kind of communication. It's very blunt and to the point. It doesn't waste any time, and it does have a lot of courage in the way that it presents its ideas. This energy is actually really good. It's really nice energy, and will impact you, I think, positively, but we'll see exactly how your natal suns are interacting with Mercury. But there is a hang-up. Mercury, once it enters Leo, is almost immediately going to be opposite to Pluto and square to the nodes, which means there is huge tension and confrontation in Mercury to dig up what is underneath and confront toxicities and the stuff other people don't like to look at, information and learning about those truths and realities. And it ties right into the North Node, South Node square. There's a grand square forming in the sky between Pluto, Mercury, and the nodes, which just really leads me to believe there is some major information that's about to be unleashed and revealed, and not sure it's just the best, nicest information, but certain that it absolutely has to come out. This is just a very intense mood, and you can feel it as if, you just want to dig. Anything with Mercury and Pluto, especially in opposition, it's like relentless. You're not going to be able to not dig down deep and figure things out. It's very investigative energy, especially into those things that people don't want to look at. FYI, all week long, we have Venus conjunct Mars, even when Mars enters Virgo. So that's still highly sexual energy. Once Mars enters Virgo, of course, how you talk to somebody and the schedule that you keep and how much you come through for somebody will absolutely be more important. But ultimately, that is still very connected energy and intense in its own right. We have Venus square to Uranus, which means we also do have this impact of, I'm tired of the old, same old, same old. I want my freedom. I want to explore different things and different ideas. So this is very personally rebellious energy for Venus, and those things that we love and those things that we desire and how we want to be desired. So that could cause some conflicts right now when it comes to romantic relationships. That would be interesting to watch as well. We have another major aspect that is potentially troublesome, especially once Mars goes into Virgo. It becomes directly opposite to Saturn, and Mars opposite Saturn is very resentful energy. It feels like it's being forced to be held back, and that could lead to higher cases of depression. Saturn is also semi-square to Chiron, which is going to exacerbate our feeling of uselessness and not being able to do something because we're being held back, and I'll never get there. This is tough energy for us all to be going through. And honestly, this Saturn opposite Mars is going to last right up through the end of this month. So this could be a long while where we really have to face those aspects in ourselves where we just want to give up hope. So that could be a real issue. We also have we have the Sun square Chiron this week, which is going to further exacerbate our feelings of low self-esteem and worthlessness. So overall, this is not an easy week, and information or news that comes through that other weeks you could just let roll off your back, there is a high propensity toward taking it especially personally this week and being very fatalistic in the way that we interpret things. This could really trigger some global issues as well. If everybody's feeling this way, then taking things to the extreme would be more likely. Very high tension week, FYI. What is Mercury doing? Let's go into Virgo specific info. So what's happening in the zodiac sign of Virgo? That's where we'll start. Mars is coming in on the 10th of July, which means it will be conjunct to all Virgo ones that are on the Virgo Leo cusp. It'll be pretty much conjunct to you guys all week long, but by the 10th it will be conjunct to all of you. We also have no, that's it. That's the guest you're having. You're having over, Virgo, to your house. What is your ruling dignitary doing? Which is really important to know because it will flavor everything that is happening during the week and just for your life in general. So always knowing where Mercury is really helpful. Mercury is moving between 23 degrees Cancer and 5 degrees Leo. So it's going to transit into Mercury, and you'll feel a difference in the way that you communicate. You may just be, because of all this other energy around it, not willing to take anybody's shit anymore. I'm going to get to the point, I'm going to be blunt, and I'm not hiding things or shouldering them anymore. I'm just going to say it because I don't care. You know, that kind of energy can really be larger this week, could really be more intense this week. There is Mercury this week is trine to Neptune, which could also push people into music or self-expression, expression through the arts, and trying to find some sort of flow or rhythm or creative way to handle this heavy energy. Mercury trine Neptune is a very musical energy. It's finding ways to put rhythm and timing and measurements to all of these dreams and fantasies or creative inspiration. So that's actually really beautiful energy. Could be a wonderful outlet this week. And then we have opposition to Pluto, which, as we discussed, intensifies everything, makes you want to not deal with any crap, and you will definitely not accept the easy answer. You will dig and dig and dig until you find it. You don't care how far you have to dig. It is very, get to the bottom of this crap kind of energy. This could also lead to some sort of discovery medically as well, of finding a way to heal the suffering or really get to the bottom of the toxicity in order to heal it. And then we have Mercury square to the nodes, which is also very cathartic energy, this sense of whatever comes out this week could really be a game changer globally and turn the tides for you personally. It feels as if there is a corner that's being turned. You're not comfortable where you used to be. You want to move forward. So there's just that toggle point between how you used to communicate and how you want to communicate now. And we're in a high pressure point that's going to push you over that edge. Just an FYI. So Virgo, let's get into the decans. Now, a decan is a group of 10 degrees, and every zodiac sign has 3 of them because every zodiac sign covers 30 degrees on the 360 degree zodiac wheel. So if you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Virgo, you are a Virgo 1 because your natal sun sits in the first decan of Virgo. This correlates to August Virgos. Anyone born between, say, the 21st, 22nd of August, all the way through the 31st of August. This would be you guys. Your natal suns are the ones that are conjunct Mars, cusps pretty much all week, in a loose conjunction all week, but definitely by the 10th, all of you. That's going to intensify everything and make you far more pugilistic, quick to react, higher energy, higher intensity, higher sexuality, bigger drive, and a more relentless drive overall. Being opposite to Saturn is really going to irritate you and piss you off, because even though your natal suns have been opposite to Saturn for months now, and it will be for the rest of this year, Mars being there makes things angry, resentful, and even hateful to some degree, because Mars does not like to feel like it's being restrained. And you could take all of those restraints personally, since it's conjuncting your natal sun. So this is going to be a week where self-care and anything you've learned to help you through tough times, not to say that something bad's going to happen, but it's going to feel like everything bad's happening because of all this resistance and all this no restriction. So ultimately, it's going to really behoove you to take care of yourself and give yourself a little extra special care this week. Your natal suns are sextile to the south node, so you could be finding opportunities through stuff that you're good at, the stuff that you really care about, the stuff that comes natural to you, and trying the north node, which means that stuff is helping you move toward your future. That's really wonderful. Overall energy this week is still going to be pretty tense. Your natal suns are semi-square to the sun all week long, which could also exacerbate this feeling of your ego being struck, or coming up against stubbornness and being more stubborn, or being quicker to anger, even having lower self-esteem, just more frustration. And you have a long-term quincunx to Neptune, which makes escaping into the dream world a hell of a lot easier than it should be. And especially when things seem hopeless, like this week could, anybody who's trying to sell you tonic water could really be somebody who could really hurt you a lot this week, because you just want such a relief from the stress that certain things would just sound way too good. So just an FYI, don't jump into anything new. Any new opportunities, definitely review it and go over it. And sure, find inspiration in it, absolutely. But also, use your Virgo, your spidey senses as well. Just an FYI. Virgo 2s. So if you know that your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Virgo, your natal sun falls in the second decan of Virgo. You guys are Virgo 2s. That correlates to anybody born between the 1st and 10th of September. You guys would be pretty much around there. Your birthdays would be Virgo 2s. So your natal sun is sextile to the current sun, which is actually very helpful energy and very sort of opportunity based. It's almost like you could be feeling a little extra good this week. So very, very different from Virgo 1s. Your natal suns are semi-square to Mercury, which could mean in terms of just the stuff that you're digging through, communications messing up, or just not hearing answers or replies from people. All of those things could be kind of frustrating this week, and it's not the best time to sign great contracts or major contracts now anyway. Your natal suns are trine to Jupiter, which means you do have an overall optimism to your character, and with the sextile to the sun this week, this could have you finding opportunities where other people just can't. So it could be a very productive and opportunity and optimistic week for you. But then you also have this quincunx to Chiron, but that's long term. That's long term. The thing is, now that Saturn is semi-square to Chiron, there could be a damper on that. There could be an intensification on Chiron, especially with the sun square Chiron this week. Just this sense of not feeling good enough. But you do have other things working in your favor this week to keep you more optimistic, especially compared to the rest of the Virgos, and a lot of other people. So definitely trust your optimism this week and don't listen to those little voices of low self-esteem that might creep up. There's enough to be optimistic about for you guys this week, I promise. Also, because the sun is still in Cancer, this help or this opportunity could be coming from or through the family unit. Just an FYI. We have a sextile to Mercury. I'm sorry, for Virgo 3s. So if your natal sun falls between 20 and 29 degrees Virgo, you are Virgo 3s. That would correlate to anybody born between September 11th and the 21st, so right up to that Libra cusp. Your natal suns are sextile to Mercury by the 10th. By the 10th, sextile to Mercury, which means there are opportunities that could open by talking and putting yourself out there, written form, verbal form. This is a good time for you to audition or interview or give a presentation or take a test or anything like that. This is an actual very helpful energy for you this week, at least by the 10th. Your natal suns are in a long-term trine to Uranus and opposition to Neptune. Once again, opposition to Neptune makes it really difficult for you to decipher reality from fiction. So definitely have those trusted advisors, whoever it is, to, if something feels too good to be true, it probably is. Don't let anybody get one over on you. Brain fog could be something you struggle a lot more with over these next couple of years. But ultimately, I think with the trine to Uranus, there is that sense of independence and interesting interests, outside of the box thinking and ingenuity that could really actually put even that opposition to Neptune to use. Ultimately, this is a very ingenuitive time for you. But this week in particular, it's that sextile to Mercury. Share your ideas, talk about what you care about, tell somebody that they're thinking of them. All of those things will open up doors for you this week. You guys let me know in the comments below how this energy is impacting you. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the videos. Bye, Virgo.